Welcome back. Today we're gonna have a look at the Sailor Hocoro. This is a pen that does not suck ink out of the bottle. It's just a dip pen introduced by Sailor in late 2022. It's made entirely out of plastic with a simple shape that tapers in and then back out at the end. And on the top we have a finial with the Sailor logo. The bottom side of the body has two flat areas that work as roll stoppers. The pen is also marked Sailor Japan, and as you can see here, mine has cracked. I don't know if this happened during transportation or a drop, but I think that's possibly a flaw in the design of the pen, as the plastic does not feel super premium. Looking on the bottom, we see the nib. This is the Fude nib, which comes with a plastic feed. 2.0 stub also comes with a plastic feed for other sizes, meaning fine, medium and 1.0 stub. You have to buy the feed separately. If you decide to buy this pen in one of the nib sizes that does not come with a feed, I would really recommend you to buy the feed separately, because I think it greatly improves the quality of life with this pen. The nib assembly can be easily pulled out and swapped with a different one. You can also easily take the nib and the feed out of the nib assembly, and then you can maybe insert the feed that you have to the different nib assembly. Overall, the design is quite practical. You can swap nibs in and out easily, and you have the choice of using or not using the feed, but the only reason not to use the feed is when you want to make the cleaning process a bit easier. Ergonomically, the pen works well enough, even though I would probably prefer a simple straight barrel with a roll stop at the end instead of the flat sections that Sailor decided to use. The Hocoro is long enough at 134 millimeters. I just wish the section was a bit wider. At the widest point it measures 10.5 millimeters, but then it tapers in all the way to 8.5 millimeters. Now it's time for a writing sample. So the pen is Sailor Hocoro, and the ink is Diamine Earl Grey. We can also compare it immediately to a traditional dip pen, and we immediately run into the issue with traditional dip pens when used with a regular fountain pen ink. The ink is not thick enough and it will just run out of the nib. Okay, let's try again. Yeah, and now I ran out of the ink before even finishing a single word. Apart from ink splashing everywhere and not being able to write more than a single word, the traditional dip pens put way too much ink on the page, and then you can't really tell how the ink would really look when writing with a fountain pen. On the other side, Sailor Hocoro, thanks to its design, writes almost exactly like a fountain pen would. We can also try to see how much ink capacity does the feed offer with this, and this is a medium nib. So with this medium nib, I will stop right there because I think this is enough ink to cover the entire page. So how does the nib behave apart from being close to a fountain pen nib? It has a little bit of feedback, but writes very smoothly. There are no issues with hard starts. No issues with writing very fast. Regarding flex, it's fairly stiff, nothing really noticeable. And as for reverse writing, it works reasonably well and we get an extra fine line. The line thickness when writing normally is what I would expect from a medium nib. When it comes to wetness, it's really what I would expect in a very average fountain pen. I quickly created writing samples for the Fude and the 1.0mm stub nib. The Fude was the first nib that I bought and I've been really happy with it. It works very well. However, the 1.0mm is not really a stub. It's a rather sharp italic nib, which is quite a bit tricky to use. I would prefer something slightly more around it. But that's mostly a personal preference. Generally speaking, the nibs work very well. I didn't have to adjust anything. They work wonderfully well with fountain penning, so really no complaints. As for my overall thoughts, if you like playing with ink and changing inks is a bit annoying in your fountain pens, then this is pretty much the perfect tool to use. It works perfectly well with any kind of fountain pen ink, sheen, shimmer, dry, wet. As far as I can tell, it does not really have any direct competition. Traditional dip nib pens don't work at all with fountain penning, and glass pens can often be too wet for fountain pennings. It's a very practical pen. You can also hide the nibs inside the body and the pen can be easily transported. The only thing that annoys me is this crack in the body, and maybe the shape of the body would be better if it was just a straight barrel. That said, if you like experimenting with ink, this is still highly recommended. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.